All right, guys, we have got some new shelves into the office today, and
What are the names?
I
don't know either.
Let me pull them up real quick. These are the Sajanic 60-inch wide storage shelves with 3,500 pounds capacity, and they're for garage, but we are putting it in an office today.
So we're gonna lay on these when we're done, right?
Yep. Wait. Oh, I just realized. So these are 72 inches tall and 60 inches wide, and then they are also 24 inches deep.
Yep.
Yeah, so 2 feet in depth, and this is how they showed up. So we're a little worried, to say the least, because both of them are opened, and they are like when we pick these up, you can definitely hear some loose things in here. So we're hoping that there's nothing damaged and nothing is missing, because if that is, then we are in some deep trouble. So
shall we just unbox them and then report back?
Yeah, we're gonna go ahead and unbox them, and we'll let you guys know if we have everything that we need. We got everything unboxed and nothing is damaged, and it doesn't seem like we're missing anything, so that is a big plus. I really don't know how they showed up looking like that. Maybe they had to like inspect it to make sure it was the right one. No idea, but they're here. Everything is out of the box now. We've got...
I don't think we have any dents or anything either,
surprisingly. Dents, no damage, which is actually surprising. You've probably seen a couple of my videos here where I do unboxings of shelving and storage units, and they end up like trash when we get here. So if everything's unboxed, and we're gonna go ahead and set everything up now. It looks pretty straightforward. It does seem to be toolless as well, aside from maybe having some anchors that they include with the actual units, but you know, I don't think anyone uses anchors anyways. So we're gonna get things going, and we'll put you on a fat time lapse because this one's gonna take quite a bit of time. All right, so we got the first shelf done, and this is gonna be more of our case shelf since we have a lot of PC cases we always bring into the channel. So we only have 4 shelves on this whole setup right now, and the idea, Jackson brought over a case to test fit, was that this whole bottom piece is going to be for cases. Now realistically, we don't need it to be this tall because it's literally half the entire shelf, but the problem with these shelves is that this beam that connects the bottom to the top, it's a 2-piece beam. So with that being said, you have to have, because they give you just these plastic things that connect the two together, you absolutely need a shelf right here so they can like structurally stay intact and connect to each other. So these on the time lapse, we assembled this piece first, and then from there we decided to just throw on an extra shelf up top because we can fit plenty of more stuff on this one too. If we need to in the future, we can also like change the height of the shelf if we need to, but this is kind of where it's at right now.
It's not too heavy.
It's not too heavy actually. It's not that bad. Especially without extra shelf. So that's kind of where we're at now. Let's go ahead and bring it into the film room, and then we'll get it all set up with our stuff. All right guys, so the first shelf is set up, and again, like I said, we have all these PC cases right here, and I'm gonna go ahead and do a quick comparison to a normal shelf that you'd probably find on Amazon that's a little cheaper, that's more just plastic. And one thing I really like about these shelves over here, first off, is the fact that they're flat, and a lot of places will cheap out on material costs because they can just make something like this just as sturdy theoretically. It's you know, it's not as flat, so you can't put small things in it because sometimes they'll fall through the cracks. So this is a big improvement here as well. And as far as how things feel, you can kind of see it's just like this piece of sheet metal that you just drop into place, and then they have like support beams going across the full length of it. So they're pretty sturdy, but they say 3,500 pounds per shelf. All right guys, Future Me here, and I just finished editing the video actually, and I just realized that the listing was a little different than what I thought. We did assemble it just a slightly bit wrong, but it's just, we left that one piece, and I'll show you right here. So essentially, we were supposed to install these guardrails, and I did notice that they came with a couple extra side pieces, and I thought they were just extra pieces, but yeah, they gave you guardrails to assemble with it, and that we did not install. But again, it's not gonna really affect the rigidity of it. And as far as everything else on the listing goes, you can kind of see these product images. I have a problem with these because, I mean, like, I guess they are that big in person, but they look like super industrialized and like heavy duty, like I mentioned in the video, and I just don't think they're that good. So again, it's a really cheap shelving unit set, and 199 bucks. It is pretty affordable for how big of shelving units you're getting, but these pictures definitely make it look pretty big. So that's kind of my only gripe with the listing, but yeah. And then on the in terms of the weight capacity, it does say 3,500 pounds, but it doesn't say if that's per shelf or for the whole entire shelving unit. Based on their other like listings over here, you can kind of see I'm gonna assume that 3,500 weight capacity is across all 5 tiers. So I think I mentioned in the video a couple times, like, oh, you know, this is just per shelf that's bad. I'm gonna assume that it's like 3,500 split across the whole shelving unit, and that probably sounds a little more likely. Aside from just it being like flimsy metal, this is all that's holding it together. So it's not the most heavy duty thing I've ever seen, especially with these attachment pieces with them being plastic. It did feel a little sketchy setting it up, but once everything's all put up together, and then everything's of course on the shelves, it does feel a little more structurally sound, so it does have that going for it there. So that's kind of where it's at right now. $199 for each one of these. So we're gonna go ahead and do now is we're gonna set up this one right over here, and hopefully we can get this whole monitor situation in a nice looking area and get this full thing utilized. Well guys, we got the last one in, and on one more time lapse you all probably saw us setting everything up together, made some last minute moves, but here's pretty much the entire setup of both of our shelves done. And overall, I mean, in conclusion, the listings definitely make all of these shelves look like a more premium item, but in reality, they're just $200 for some pretty cheap metal. But again, they are metal, and like I mentioned from the last clip, they are decently supported. Definitely not 3,500 pounds supported level, but I mean, hey, for our use case, it's gonna work out pretty well. And these are about $199, give or take, depending on if there's a coupon going on for Amazon right now at the time, whenever you purchase it. But yeah, I mean, overall decent. I really just wish that we could move this middle shelf right here. I wish that they didn't kind of make us lock into this one right here, because then we might have been able to use more than 4 shelving spots right here, but that's kind of where we're locked in with this one, so we can't really use that. So that's like my only big complaint about it. Aside from that, assembly was pretty easy. It was toolless pretty much, aside from using a loud mallet. And yeah, I mean, it is exactly what they described, and luckily everything showed up in one piece and we weren't missing anything.
No, I mean, yeah, I agree with what you said. Yeah, if you do the math, they're saying like 3,500 per shelf, but obviously per tier, you know, you do the math, divide it by 5, and yeah, I don't see each one of these, you know, holding like over 500 pounds, safely at least. But I definitely think they could probably hold a couple hundred a piece pretty well. And then if you anchor them down, you know, they're probably pretty acceptable. But yeah, they were definitely the cheapest ones we could find. I mean, this beats Lowe's and anywhere local, but you do kind of pay the kind of cheaper feel premium for that.
Yeah, because I mean, I'll move up to this one, for instance, and like, you can literally feel where's it at?
It's just the way that they,
Yeah, stuff like that where they'll just like they'll just be like kind of, you can tell it's like more cheaply made compared to like a really nice like industrial level heavy duty product.
It could probably hold a lot of weight like distributed, but if you try to put like a weight in one spot, it's gonna dent, I would say.
Yeah, I would imagine it's not gonna hold that well. So like in our use case, we're here with like all those cases like fully spread out, that's probably perfectly fine. But if you got like a really, really dense, heavy object, I would definitely put it on the bottom shelf. So that's gonna wrap this video, guys. Hope you enjoyed. We'll leave a link in the description down below. It's an affiliate link and will help us out if you want to pick up some of these up yourselves, because again, they are the cheapest shelves we could really find for this size on Amazon. And albeit while they are still a little more expensive, I think they are gonna work great for our use case, and I don't see them failing anytime soon. So thanks for watching to the end if you all did, and this will be the last update you guys will ever see for this back end area over here, because it's come a long way in the last couple months, and I think it's finally at a point where we can actually fully utilize the space. So thanks again for watching to the end if you all did, and we'll see you in the next one. Peace.